Okay, so hello there and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our new Jedi Order submod playthrough for Star Wars Empire War Force of Corruption. This is, again, for those who are unfamiliar, may have missed the episodes, a submod that someone made for an old version of Thrawn's Revenge, Lego Star Wars EU made it, that uses a bunch of different assets to move the mod into the Vong War. So we've been doing a series on the channel. I basically plan to live stream the entire thing. I'm going to do this with a lot of the Empire War playthroughs now, aside from the Thrawn's Revenge previews, where right now it's Wednesday nights, we're going to live stream through 2 to 3 episodes, and then I'm going to put the episodes up in regular episode format for splitting it up. But yeah, so we are live currently on both Twitch and YouTube, so if you prefer one platform over the other, you can go to that. That's twitch.tv/CoreyLoses or youtube.com/CoreyLoses/live. But we're going to get back into it. So we did have a few pretty big battles last time. Their economy is gigantic. Their military is large as well, but we seem to be able to take pretty big chunks out of it. I'm trying to cut off some of their routes here, but we'll see how we do. Let's actually turn all our filters on, and I did want to get one more of these. So once we have those 2 Coralskippers over here, we'll be able to continue on with that. Agamar. I guess we'll have to just go straight away.
Tactical battle imminent.
Alright, I'll send our fleet back to deal with that. And then we'll invade.
Tactical battle imminent.
No, most of the places you have a shipyard. We have a few level 3 shipyards, but we don't have a lot of money. That's the big thing right now. So I'm spending a lot of our money on refineries. Then when we have all the refineries built up, we should be making enough money that we can start building a few more larger ships. We did have a few going when we ended the last episode, so we'll try to use those as well. But you should be able to send a super chat. Okay, Suban to Crid. Our mid-Reich should be more than enough to handle this, especially with Coralskippers. The Coralskippers are so strong. They seem to be where most of our damage comes from. Okay, that actually is a bit closer than I thought it would be. Yeah, we're gonna lose one of the mid-Reichs. I thought they were further back. Oh well. We do have another mid-Reich currently at what's it called? One of our shipyards near the back. I'd have to maybe try refreshing? Okay. But that should take care of that battle. We'll have to go straight in on that next planet over. Is that it? Yeah, okay. I'm not happy about the mid-Reich. Okay, Vector Prime. I was thinking it was Vector Prime. I was like, isn't that just the book? But cluster ship, transport for Yamas war coordinators. It should be heavily defended in battle. It has no weapons. The Yamas does have the ability to summon nearby Yuuzhan Vong ships to defend the cluster ship. The Yamas coordinates that battle of can be all Coralskippers. Okay, so that should just be like a fleet commander kind of deal, I think. That should be the other Coralskipper. Here it is. And now we should be able to take Qataris and Generis. So let's do that. Always got to start with the infantry in this mod, because most of the maps don't seem to start with the capture point thing.
We've secured a landing zone.
En route.
At
Moving to
maximum unit
coordinates.
capacity.
Let me get that one. Got to try to find the generator without finding the turbo lasers.
We've located the enemy.
Don't get shot. Life and hyphen. I think it's over here. Oh god, there's so many.
Destroyed.
Okay, there it is.
Unit destroyed.
I wish they weren't our only good units. Okay, so we've got to try to get in... I don't know if we can get in there without that.
We've secured a landing zone.
I'll see if these can do anything good.
At maximum unit capacity.
But really, we don't have anything that can effectively kill the turrets. They only have so many ground units. Alright, we'll try to take out the turret here. And then go for that. Maybe if we swarm it with enough infantry. Alright. That's okay. So we'll just have to get a bunch of infantry for these. Where's Boba Fett? I think he might be dead. Or he's at Mandalore still. There we go. Did lose a Coralskipper squadron. Let's build it up. Agamar, planetary battle. You've decided to bypass it.
System lost. System control achieved.
There. I think we could take Dathomir and then that'd be... Well, let's go for Generis first. Because we are... I just want to take out these choke points. That's the main thing.
Battle imminent.
But yeah, Boba Fett, yeah, he's at Concord Dawn, actually. They could take Taris, that'd be nice, but I don't think they can. We're really falling behind on ships and stuff. Okay. I kind of want to just build a huge stack of infantry and auto-resolve the ground battles, because there's not really much to them in this mod right now.
There they are.
It's mostly just build the Coralskippers and send them in. Do they just have structures? Yeah, looks like it. Alright, so what does this one do for us? Heroic interdictor. Okay, so it's just an interdictor type. Let's take out the assault frigate. Then I'll get one of these to actually go for the station. And you two go for the Golan. There you go. Where's the Vong cannon? I mean, the old EU is still there. Still get everything you used to have. Come on. They just got shredded. No, I don't really have many ships at all. Asterix. I don't know if you were there when you saw when we looked at the military graph, but the AI gets a lot of production bonuses, so they have several times our fleet power and tens of thousands times our credits. No, for most of the war, the Yuuzhan Vong was able to pretty easily destroy everything. Like, the New Republic didn't know how to destroy their ships. The actual shells weren't the problem. It was the Davin bases, where the they couldn't really penetrate their shields at all. So it was usually a ship of the same size for the Yuuzhan Vong would usually be worth two similar ships for the other people.
The enemy is approaching.
Right, I think it's just these guys.
The enemy has been defeated.
All right.
System control achieved.
I'm just gonna get production stuff there. See, if you look here, that is like, that's our fleet, and then we also have this little fleet, but their military graph is huge, their economy is huge as well, so. That's a lot of building slots.
Vehicle in production.
Do we have anywhere else we can build infantry currently? I don't think I have any. Here, let's get a regular mid-Reich. I don't really care that much about getting an interdictor anymore. We don't... They're generally not being a problem by running. So... Right, I guess I'll need to build... Here we go.
Recruiting troops.
There we go. I guess we'll go in.
Invasion commencing.
Nope, this is a bad idea. Alright, I'll just retreat.
We've secured a landing zone.
The Jedi Temple at this point would have been on the avenue,
Enemy
but...
has been spotted.
I'll just leave those forces over over Generis right now so they can't rebuild any of the ground stuff. And we'll go into Ithor, I guess. Because that might be a little bit easier for us to take.
Tactical battle imminent.
Raids are annoying. Make sure, Tyler, that you're running in compatibility mode. And that if you're Because if you reinstalled it, it wouldn't be running in compatibility mode anymore unless you reset it. And if you're not on Steam, you need to make sure you get the RAM fix as well.
Enemy unit sighted.
We are victorious.
If you uninstalled it because some files were broken before, then any other files would still be there. So you would have to delete you'd be best off deleting the stuff that was there before, like the entire thing, and hard reinstalling.
Reporting.
Tactical battle imminent.
Oh, I should have got that thing. I kept thinking that was one of the fire beasts. You're gonna build up Boba's fleet. We don't have any money to, and we don't really have any good shipyards over there. So I don't know that we'll be able to build up Boba's fleet very much. We have to focus on building up the main stuff in the middle of the galaxy, or in our main forces. Because right now we can't really defend against stuff, and we can't really attack stuff. So I don't think spending the resources in the other area, that kind of spreads us out too much.
Look, sir, it's them.
Okay, these just seem to be civilian things. Well, I hope you get it fixed. Get in here, Coralskippers. One of the things about playing this mod for me, though, is basically everything that we fixed between 2.15 and 2.2 is still there. So it's kind of weird for me. Like when we started, there was the bug with the travel issues for AI. But I went and fixed that between episodes within my copy of this mod, but just in general, it's kind of weird playing with something that still has all that. Is there a way to give ground units escorts, for example, out of units that are in game that's here? Yeah, it's pretty easy to spawn units in a bunch of different ways. That's just how you do that. You'd add it as the same way that squadrons spawn, or you just add a Lewis script thing to spawn it. Oh, well. Are Jedi getting against your troop? I mean, if we mass them, it seems like the Jedi can't do much. We killed all the Jedi heroes already. We just lost on the Midroik. I mean, I don't really feel like we have enough to attack, but if we don't attack, we'll just get attacked. So, because they just get so much free crap. So I feel like we kind of have to stay on the offensive a bit.
Retreat aborted.
No, I don't want you to to abort the retreat. I want you to retreat. Oh well. It really doesn't help that the ships are so fragile. Ugh, that sucks.
Reporting.
Okay, we should have enough to take Generis, and then Ithor as well.
Reporting.
I'll keep building up those. I will build... What is this?
Battle imminent.
Philip Pro. Okay, that's a scout. Megamortar. Can't do anything about that.
Reporting.
Invasion commencing.
Yeah, the Vong came from outside of the known galaxy.
We've secured a landing zone.
Moving out.
At maximum unit capacity.
They use a lot of organic stuff, like all their ships are organic, they're grown. And they're basically a bunch of masochists. This is why we significantly nerfed air units between 2.1 and 2. You know what?
Unit destroyed.
Nothing we have can hit them except for our own Coralskippers. I can't kill those. Yeah, they really hate droids and they hate the Force. They're disconnected from the Force, actually. Well, there goes that.
Tactical battle imminent.
And there goes that.
System lost. Tactical battle imminent.
And there goes that.
Tactical battle imminent.
Okay, we'll have to retreat from here. I need to find some way to deal with their ground stuff. Because we don't, like, I guess the Gretchen thingy, no, not Gretchens, what are they? The Felucia things that shoot mass drivers, they could potentially work. But other than that, like, our infantry are melee, so they can't hit the air units. The fire breather might be able to, and the Coralskipper can, but they're not as, I don't think they're as strong. It entirely depends on who gets the first shots off. Especially because they're going to be rushing our landing spot with them. We can't get there, like, we'd be landing them and they get shot right away. So I don't think there's really a way for us to deal with that. And I think part of the problem with the number of troops they get is when we were doing 2.1, we gave the AI some higher income modifiers because we thought the reason they weren't attacking properly was because they didn't have enough forces, but it was because of the travel paths being set improperly. So when we did fix that, because that meant that they would properly grouping their fleets, then we turned the income down, but I didn't do that here. So they'll be getting just as many free fleets and attacking more with them. Alright, well that helps. I guess I can queue up another Midroik. I'm just gonna have to try to get as many space units up as we can. As fast as we can. Do we have... I'm gonna build one of the probes, and I'm gonna check out Taurus. See if we can take over Taurus with this stuff. So, you get in here. You get in here.
Tactical battle imminent.
That's nice, dear. As long as they get kind of stuck here and don't land all their stuff, we should be fine. No, the kiting's a base game behavior. I don't know why they're not doing it right now.
You're in this direction.
Thanks, schedule. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Alright, so we'll let them come to us, and I think they'll probably only have landed one unit anyways. Hey, Professor of Gaming. Oh, never mind. There's... Okay, there we go. We actually do have a decent space fleet now. It's just we can't really take the ground. I'm probably just gonna have to get a bunch of whatever we can and auto resolve.
Constructing unit.
Training troops.
Reporting.
So, what's the easiest one? I don't know that they're really... Agmar obviously would be fairly easy, and these would be pretty easy to take too, but they don't seem to be causing us problems, and we'd have to distract our forces for a bit for that. Do they have anything over Generis?
Reporting. Reporting.
Tactical battle imminent.
They do. So we'll clear out Generis, we'll park our ground units over it, then we'll go in. Thanks for the Labjack. Hey Kumar, how's it going? So yeah, I'll just I'll leave some stuff over some of the planets as we take space, and then I will just build a giant doom stack of ground units now to resolve it.
Enemy forces ahead.
We'll jump in a little bit further back than we usually do. And we have pretty much a full pop cap now, so any individual fight we should be in much better shape for. Not too bad. What program would you recommend to change the color of units, such as the AT-AT to make a unit? You'd have to use either Photoshop or GIMP. I think maybe even Paint.net has a .dds extension. But for any of them, you would need to make sure you have a .dds plugin. And then you can recolor them and everything like that. We nearly conquer the galaxy? Not quite. We're about halfway through. Coralskippers, skip on in there. Any chance we could see horror games on the channel? I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff I want to play. There's some Skyrim mods that are kind of like horror-y, but I don't know that I'd really call them horror games exactly. So maybe after a lot of the stuff that we've already got planned is going to be closer done, but there is a lot of stuff I want to be doing. I've never played Outlast. Okay, let's go for the station. Because one Midroy coming over here should be able to finish off the Golan. And that'll stop any other spawns they may be getting. No, that is not the TR. It might be from Alliance or some shit. Okay, now park over Generis. Let's kill this stuff over Qataris.
Tactical battle imminent.
We've located the enemy.
I guess we'll put a Vuaspar towards the back. There we go. How did who get a Sovereign Star Destroyer?
Enemy fleet approaching.
Reporting.
Nope.
Reporting.
What are you? Why are you invading
Tactical
Qataris?
battle imminent.
Haha. Jerks. I win. Okay, so we'll leave them there. I'm gonna go down to Ithor again.
Reporting. Reporting.
Tactical battle imminent.
We'll queue that up, or we'll start that up in a second. I just want to make sure we're
Training soldiers.
still building as much as we can.
Enlisting soldiers.
That one's done, so we can get... I think we'll get one more Midroik, and then we'll start getting some other smaller ships at some of these stations. Why are you playing as the Vong? There's not really many other opportunities to play as the Vong, so I thought it would be the best way to do it. You can play as the New Republic all the time. You know, you were saying that you were increasing pop cap. Why then do you increase ship up? Well, the point of increasing pop cap isn't to have more larger ships on the map, because that generally makes pathfinding a lot harder to deal with as well. Like, generally the 10 Star Destroyers is fine in our mind. The reason we increase the pop cap is so that we can space it out more at the bottom. So in 2.1, for example, when it was 40, we had to have Star Destroyers at like 4 to have roughly what we wanted. But that meant that something like a Carrack had to be 1 pop cap, that's the lowest you can go, but it's also already a quarter of a Star Destroyer. So it was never really viable to use any of the smaller ships. So by increasing the overall pop cap, that lets us have, say, the Star Destroyer at 12, which means you can have something like a Carrack at 1 or 2, and then it's only taking up 1 or 2 pop cap, you can have a lot more, and they don't feel like they're wasting your pop cap. It's the point of us increasing the pop cap in 2.2 and 2.3, again, is not because we want to have like a ton more ships on screen. That wouldn't generally go over too well. We can go a little bit higher than we have, but it's generally becomes a lot more messy. Yeah. You falling for the ledge? Yeah. I'm not gonna do it. It's not happening. Alright, so I'll just let the Coralskipper shred this stuff. Keep our bigger ships a bit more safe. Okay, so we'll just leave our ground forces over here, and we'll head off to the next New Republic planet. Let's go for Arinda? Yeah. Put these guys over here. Oh, there we go. Is there a limit to how many heroes there can be in the bar? You only get the 2 rows, however many fit in those 2 rows. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say it's like 11 or 12. But you can still add heroes after that. They just won't show up in that bar. I haven't tried expanding the bar in a long time, so I don't know if you could add in extra slots if the game would recognize them, but I don't think so.
Enemy is approaching.
Alright, just gonna get our Coralskippers, and they're gonna do all the work. Yeah, I picked up on that. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, you're a Coralskipper. You gotta get in there. Hey, Zero. How's it going? Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to do most of these streams on both Twitch and YouTube. But it just seems, rather than jumping back and forth, it does seem like it works better to do it all on both platforms. So, for pretty much every stream from now on, you should expect it to be on both Twitch and YouTube right away. Well, Kumar, the Fog of War reveal in 2.1 was based on an AI calculation rather than something that was intentional. So for whatever reason, the AI is not making the same calculation as it was previously. And that's why they're not revealing. So the AI isn't assuming it's losing as fast. Are you going to suck? No, not happening. Enough dick jokes. It's not gonna work. What specs does your computer have? Or because I'm having lag issues in the Galactic map. So Galactic lag is generally a result of your CPU. I have an i7 at 4.2 gigahertz. Basically, Empire at War, because it's such an old game, is 32-bit, which means that it can only use, like, you can only use a single core. So if you have like an octa-core, that won't get you anything at all. If it's like octa-core at 3.2 gigahertz, that's still going to lag as much as a single core at 3.2 gigahertz would. Well, I mean, there'd be other processes going on, but so that's not 100% the case. Like, there's other factors, but that's generally how it works. So with Empire at War, you basically just want something with the strongest single core performance you can get. No, that's also part of why we have as many maps as we do.
Tactical battle imminent.
Okay, so which unit are they sending? Hope it's not the V-Wings.
Enemy has been spotted.
A big part of that is also that they don't start with the landing point controlled. So especially if they don't start with infantry, then they're not going to be able to capture it.
Reporting.
Training soldiers. Tactical battle imminent.
Ugh. Whatever, I'll just focus over here. We'll get back out that way as fast as we can.
Reporting.
Tactical battle imminent.
Does mod have those dragonborn things? I think that's what the repurposed Felucia the guys are supposed to be, the big grubs. I think they're supposed to be what you're asking about. Oh, that's a headphone. Well, that's a... what's it called? That's a garrison, that one.
Enemy unit sighted.
Alright, they'll get there eventually, and by then we'll have killed everything. But yeah, so stuff like graphics card, that has essentially no impact on your performance on the Galactic map. It's really just the CPU. Hey Sigma, how's it going? You were too far ahead. Okay, you guys gotta stop, and you guys need to just go in first. Stop spinning around. Let's take out the IPV before it goes perma power to weapons. The green arrow lets you turn a ship in place. I basically never use it. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. I think. What do you plan on playing after this playthrough? So after this, I'm going to be doing another Phoenix Rising playthrough, I think. For our Stream DAW series. Perfect 5 out of 7. You basically just have to like click and drag on it. There we go. Okay, so which one had it?
Reporting.
Once we have this whole area completely blitzed, then
Reporting in.
Battle imminent.
we'll start heading out west, or east rather. What's the audience called? Corey losers? The losers? You people? Hey everyone. I don't know, when I started the channel I thought about doing something like that, but I just never... It always feels weird. I don't know. Graphics card you have? If you mean me, I have GTX 1080. I had a 960 until like February, which is kind of annoying because
Look, sir, it's
the
them.
prices went way down right after. Or like they're much lower now. So if I just waited a couple months, then I would have saved like $300 or something. 400 almost for the same card. But I kind of like I really needed it for what I was doing with the channel, so I didn't have much of a choice to wait. And there's also like, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button and all that, but I don't know. I can't do it. It's usually hey there, or hello there, because it is technically a reference to... meant to be a reference to F3.
Reporting. Reporting.
But sometimes I go back to hey there or hello there everyone.
Tactical battle imminent.
Code Master.
Inbound.
Could I make a gecko on how to edit the XML files? I've actually already done a few tutorials like that, showing... There was one that was specifically just showing what the basics are to get the files and open them. Then there's been a few tutorials like making a Galactic Conquest map or adding a hero, and all that is pretty much the same regardless of mod. Like, it's a little bit different in TR actually because we do have so many extra systems, but it's also a lot more complicated for TR for people who have less experience because it works a lot more with Lua.
Reporting. Reporting.
Tactical battle imminent.
I keep forgetting to set a Pathfinder.
Incoming!
Okay, are they gonna retreat? Oh, that was the Windows key, not Alt. Or Control. My bad. I'll be back in game in a second. Ugh. Please work Alt Tab. There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know if I cut off the video there. Have you decided whether you want to start doing those podcasts? Probably not. I'd need people to actually do them with consistently. And it's my job to do this stuff, but I can't guarantee that other people would be able to do it as regularly as it would need to be done, or as it would ideally be done.
We've come across enemy units.
We're already back to all this. I mean, yeah, they're pretty OP, but they're basically the only way we're able to do anything right now, so I'm not going to complain. What's that? Oh, it's engine glow. Gonna kill some of their fighters first, then we'll just go back to that. Get the shields and engines on all three, and then we can come back and destroy them again. Probably should get the hangars as well. Okay, now we can leave them for our ships to kill. And we can head further in. You ever thought about playing XCOM? That's actually one of the... Uh-oh. I think the stream might have cut off there for real. Oh, never mind, it's back up. One of the first series I did on the channel was actually the start of an XCOM series, and I definitely want to get back to it at some point, especially modded. I was thinking... when I was done some of what we're doing right now, I'd go in and I'd do a few streams of XCOM 1. Then once I have a better understanding of how the game works, I'd go through XCOM 2 with mods. Okay, you guys are getting shredded now. You play Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy? Yeah, so we recently did Jedi Outcast, and the plan is still to go back and do Academy as well. Because we're doing... right now we've got NJO, we've got TR, we've got Star Trek, we've got RimWorld, we've got Pokemon. So I want to wait until some of that stuff is finished before going into more stuff. Okay, you're almost dead, so I'm going to leave you over there. The rest of you are going to go and finish this off. Yeah, I'd probably handle the XCOM either the same way I do the TR previews, where I'd either do it as patrons, or depending on how many people want it, with the same way we do Stellaris, where just anyone can have it. But I have to be more familiar with the game to say for sure, and I'm currently not. You played the episode 3 video game? I played the episode 3 video game. I don't know if it's different, if there's a different PS2 version than the one I played, because I had never really had I've never had a PlayStation, so I don't know if there was a different, like, a lot of the older Star Wars games did tend to be a little bit divergent between different systems, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Some really weird shading on that. Oh, there's still another one past there. We can make Rosh Pennant a New Republic hero. Gonna go with no on that one. Alright, we're gonna lose probably a lot of our little frigates, but... Oh, there we go. We did lose a lot of our little frigates. And a Midreich. That sucks. Okay, let's take a second and go up to you, 3 you,